it again in the group. Yes, Gurudev.
So we should start, huh?
Yeah. Yes, Gurudev, whenever you chose to, please. Yeah.
All right. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshulmilitan Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitamtam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhantasya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Sri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Sarasate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavranta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Today we are speaking on the subject matter of spiritual urgency. Who feels the urgency? A person who knows immediate action is needed right now. We can't wait. Oh, I will do tomorrow. No. If you are thinking that you can do it next week, then somebody will say, no, don't trust the time between, whether it will be favorable for you to conduct your affairs. So better do it. I said, okay, I will do tomorrow. No, tomorrow is also not good. You know, those who are lazy bums, they do not have value of urgency. Laziness, nindra, alasya, pramada, these are all tamasic guna that does not allow us to think what is urgent in our life. Most urgent. So we have to come out from the lower modes of material nature to the higher modes, and then try to perceive and understand the significance of urgency that is very much essential to cross over this so-called problematic life. And that is the function of the what you call saints and spiritual teachers to show the guidance, to make a distinction and choose a path or chalk out a path which will be beneficial to have a tangible, gain or put up a mark of some achievement, which is a permanent asset within this lifetime. That understanding is called urgency. in the process of, say, scientific approach to the suggestion of what they call the choice. Then they recommend there are 4 quadrants to make a choice. First is urgent and important. Second is the urgent but not important. The third is important but not urgent. And fourth is not important and not urgent. Out of these 4 quadrants, the sequence is first, second, third is correct. But the fourth is said to be avoided at all because it is waste of time. Waste of time and energy. The process of devotional service brings us out from the ignorance of what should we do. It means an intelligent person will always make a choice. So the choice is according to the 4 quadrants. The fourth is not a choice at all because it's called a wasteful spending of one's own time, which is very important. Time and tide never waits for anybody. So during our allotted period of livelihood, even the divisions of exact nature to gain the knowledge up to first 25 years, then Arthakam next 25 years, then retirement after 50 years, and then voluntarily leave the material attachments and go and search for Lord Shri Krishna, either through tapascharya or meditation or performance of sacrifices or charity or chant Hare Krishna. Now, it doesn't mean chanting of Hare Krishna will come at the end. Srila Prabhupada saw that Kali Yuga is devastating everything, all the good virtues of culture. And the devastation is also so systematic that people do not know what is the urgent and what is not important. People know nothing about what they should do. And when an emergency comes, then even a learned man may lose the composure of what to choose first, what is most urgent and most important. Kim karma, kim karmeti, kavyapyatra mohita. What should be done and what should not be done. Even a learned people in the time of emergency cannot properly choose what to do. They give wrong precedence, wrong choice to things which are not important or not urgent. We'll come to the spiritual urgency, which is very much needed at the end. Why? But first, let's see. During our karmic activity of following the Varnashram Dharma, so the cardinal principle has been given that one must worship Lord Shri Krishna by wholehearted and all the time, in all the activities, and even thinking, feeling, and willing. Now, why it has been given such an importance of urgency? It is important and urgent, but yet we cannot put that as a priority. We always try to look for a cozy corner to get it done at a later time, So, what is this? This is the effect of the modes of material nature. Mm. So, in Kali Yuga, even a learned person can, miss the point of the time of emergency, what should be done and what should not be done. Kim karma, kim karmeti, kavyopyatra mohita. Because they do not give importance to the real self. They give the importance to the affiliated realm of where the soul is residing. So then it becomes urgency towards selecting out only something which is favorable and unfavorable, and neglect the real aspect of eternal benefit. It's a temporary choice that, okay, the ignorance makes even the parents who are responsible to show the urgency and importance of spiritual life is completely put aside by the parents. No, you should go in school, but they don't show what is important and urgent. So we'll talk about that. That is the first and foremost important factor, that Kali Yuga is imposing mode of ignorance on everyone. This is the rule. So how to come out from the mode of ignorance and say, and the higher modes? The higher modes are said to be Sattva Gun and Parasattva Gun. And that is only when carried out through disciplic succession or traditions which are embedded in this discipline of Varnashram Dharma. Now, if we neglect the aim of life, Atah Pumbi Dvijasreshta Varnashama Vibhagasha Sonutishtasya Dharmasya Samsiddhim Haritoshanam. Samsiddhim means the sum total of all the perfections are lying in satisfaction of the Lord Vishnu. But then when you are engaged in artha and kam, that doesn't become a priority. Even though your plans can be partially satisfied, but you will not be completely quenched, or you will not be able to gain a tangible, and everything becomes useless because it has not fructified, and you can't take along with you as a permanent asset. You have to leave everything behind. The ignorance is causing so much havoc in first of all, what is to be the duty what is to be done as the foremost activity. In any ashram, any ashram you see, the first and foremost duty is to worship the Supreme Lord through bhakti yoga, practice of that. And after that, the subsequent relative activities or duties are being given, either for brahmachari, for grahastha, for vanprastha, sannyas also. The first and foremost important is the connection with the Supreme Absolute Truth, because you are part of the Absolute Truth, and you can't live a life of ignorance. That's a fact. So, when we try to, understand the urgency, Srila Prabhupada saw this urgency in Kali Yuga. And the most important thing, as an anecdote to reveal, the most important methodology to be applied satisfactorily is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And he brought it to the Western world to show how urgent and important this movement will prove to be. And because it relies on the absolute verdict through the Shastra and realized souls like Srila Prabhupada in our disciplic succession. And therefore he made it. Prabhupada so envisioned Kalau dosha nidhe rajan asti eko mahad guna. This mahad guna means it is very urgent and very distinguishable factor to eliminate the doshas of this Kali Yuga. It is dosha nidhi. Nidhi means reservoir or big ocean. So it's ocean of faults, but there is only one good quality. So how much important and urgent that would be? That is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangam Param Prajet. By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from the entanglement of ignorant modes. Even Sattva Gun can bind you, cannot liberate you. So, just to achieve this most important and most urgent virtue, we have to follow the path of Varnashram. But gradually it will make you understand, because to come out from the clutches of Maya or the modes of material nature is graduated according to the evolutionary process. Ultimately, mankind is most fortunate to understand the most urgent and important thing, that the aim of the life or the culture is not to simply indulge in sense gratificatory activities or pray to the Lord to award them the land of free honey and milk or ghee. It's an enticement for encouragement or the encouragement of sense gratification. That will put us into total ignorance. So we need to understand that how in the life of a devotee, when they chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even fearfully, that one who is not able to chant regularly, but out of fear he chants, he will be benefited. Even if he chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra with all the kind of faults of ignorance and anarthas, Hare Krishna Mahamantra gives guarantee for liberation, to put them into a very important position. So chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Kali Yuga is the urgent activity for the important gain in the life, which is called moksha. The fourth Purusharthas. Otherwise, there is no system in Kali Yuga gives guarantee for path of liberation. Only chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Mukta Sangam Param Brajat. Mukta Sangam. They will become free from the wrong association of the material modes. And Param Brajat, it means by becoming free from the modes of material nature, they will advance towards their reality eternal. So, and the Shastras give importance to Yuga Dharma, which is Harinam Sankirtan. It is the most urgent and most important, uh, uh, benediction in the life. And who gets that benefit? One who is fortunate to Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Be. The Bhagya and Durbhagya. Fortunate and misfortune. So, यही ब्रह्मांडे भ्रमिते होए कौन भाग्यवान जीव जो गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीज. So, to receive prasadam means the mercy of the Lord is coming through, germinating the seed of devotion with the help of Guru and Krishna. So, to achieve our real nature, which is transcendental, spiritual in nature, that is Atma Tattva, is only obtainable through the very first instruction of Kapil Dev to Devahuti, Satam Prasangam Mama Birya Samvida Bhavanti Radkarana Rasayana Katha Tajjoshanavam Apavarga Vartamani Shraddharati Bhakti Ramnukramashati. The first instruction to his mother Devahuti was that must associate with the transcendental nature, and those who are interested in gaining benefit of transcendental devotional service in the association of such devotees, only one can understand the urgency and importance of getting rid of the repeated birth and death and gain full achievement, even for going back home, back to Godhead. So, otherwise, if one is ignorant of what is most important and urgent, or what is most urgent and important, if one does not come in contact with that elemental teachings through the culture of their upbringing, then they fail. But there are so many benevolent souls who carry this message of the Lord, which is most urgent and important. They spread the message of the Lord and impart them, enthuse them to perform devotional service through chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatyasau Jnanam Vairagyam Cha Ahitukam. Aso means immediate. Does not take any time, no delays. If we are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, one must generate very quickly the causelessness or of any resultant reactions. Causelessness means vairagyam means detachment from the material world, and jnanam means understanding of this spiritual nature, which becomes the most urgent call. So, spirituality in urgency. In materialism, there is no urgency. In material activities, where is the urgency? Because it has been set in automatically to sustain the body. Everybody has to work. So they think in bodily conception that work is worship. And work gives your sustenance. So nobody should be left out without work. But what kind of work that keeps the soul, the real self, in ignorance can be ever an urgent thing? No. It is the spiritual urgency means the urgency of the soul. And only in human form of life one can understand the urgency of the soul, which is spiritual nature. And it has to regain, to rekindle to the realm of eternally life of bliss and eternal existence, eternal knowledge. So that is the realm of our real nature, even though so much insignificant and insignificant fragmental size of the Supreme Lord. But yet, qualitatively, he will achieve the sameness and will live in harmony. Otherwise, everybody is in the material world, lives a life of disharmony because they don't have any urgency. For the poor people, the urgency is food. But food for life means food for the soul is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So to fill up the gap, prasad distribution is an urgent call. To inculcate spirituality, prasadam is necessary, distribution is necessary. Otherwise, prasad is not simply a fancy to fulfill the need of the body, but need of the soul also. So urgency, all the applications of our Krishna conscious activities, they are with urgency and most important thing to be performed. Performance of our daily life, starting from waking up till go to bed, involves around the absolute truth. And the path chalked out in pure devotional service through the agency of realized souls like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they guide your daily routine. If we miss that some steps that will create a kind of neglect. So meticulously we have to cultivate the discipline to follow the daily activity surrounding the Supreme Absolute Truth and keep awareness. Awareness means consciousness, and consciousness is the energy of the Supreme Lord, which is spiritual in nature. So, if we become in tune that our consciousness becomes aligned with Krishna's consciousness, then the perfection is there. So, spiritual urgency can be only fulfilled by connecting with Lord Shri Krishna through calling out his name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is the most urgent spiritual need. Most important. In the age of Kali, this importance cannot be replaced. In the other yugas, austerity in Satya Yuga was replaced by performance of fire sacrifice, which was in turn replaced by charity. But in Kali Yuga, chant. Therefore, the Yuga Dharma or the practice of the age of this particular time period of Kali Yuga is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is the most urgent and important element to inculcate the spirituality. So spiritual urgency is thus becomes qualified for a devotee, and once it is set in his practice, he will never become aloof from the reality that it generates. Now, there are certain factors that we have to look into our choice, even in practice of material life. The element of faith is the first step in understanding the importance of urgency. All right? The element of faith or Shraddha, Ado Shraddha, is the first one to understand the importance of urgency. Sadhu Sangha is the next one that will reveal us the closeness to urgency. That is most important. The third important thing is that bhajana kriya. To sustain the ultimate need of our reality is carried on through the practice. Why we need practice? Because it's turning into eternal practice of bhakti. Bhakti is the eternal practice. It's not for the time being. And whatever we gain within this lifetime becomes a permanent asset. So, to become Krishna conscious, we have to go through this stepwise important steps. The fourth one, anartha nivrutti syat. If we start plucking out the weeds of anarthas, unwanted activities in our life, then that is a very important step, but it is further. Many a times we discuss something or understand our status within the practice of Krishna consciousness. Some may be like myself, I'm engaged since about 45 years, and many are engaged 10 years, but significant amounts of our engagement is there, But most of us are stuck into anartha nivritti. One is given guaranteed of liberation, but one has obligation to remove the unwanted things in his life. They are like weeds. They suck up the, nourishment of bhakti. So anartha nivritti is a must, and you cannot do on your own or alone. You need association of the devotees to do it. Let them be part of your family and practices. So you will come to know at least whether our practice is in alignment with those who are strict in performing ours through the seniority. We expect them to guide us, to help us remove the anarthas. It is said that in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, the residual anarthas can be still found, but not gross anarthas, but residual, subtle anarthas of attachment are still found in nishtha, which is a state of liberation. It is a state of liberation. But then our urgent is yet far away to be achieved. The goal is prema. But nonetheless, when you become cultivating the taste of liberation, you take risk to further the real attachment, that is asakti, rati akarsha. Then it becomes a spontaneous activity of our urgent and important target, which is prema. So bhav and prema, asakti, bhav and prema are our real urgent need and most important goal that we have to achieve. So, in other words, the material world lacks love. Material world lacks love. The prema is the real need of the soul, not of the body. Prema is the need of the soul. And it can be supplied by the most efficient, loving couple, Radha and Krishna. They can guide us in spiritual realm, which is ever joyful, eternal, and fully knowledgeable. So this state is our natural state. How long can we keep it in the animalistic forgetfulness? So forgetfulness is moha. We get bewildered all the time, moha, because we have material body. And therefore, urgent requirement that this material body must be used in service of Krishna. Then and then, the important goal or the most tangible result of prema will be obtained. There's no shortcut. Everything in perfection is coming in and merging in each other to give us the full knowledgeable benefit and keeps us safe from unnecessary entanglement with the material nature. So in human form of life, there is nothing more urgent and important like chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we cannot put aside, oh, I will do later on. Oh, okay, I will do part. But throughout the day, if I keep on chanting, but then the perfection becomes little far-fetched, you know, phantasmagoria, because the effect of the modes of material nature is in our physical activity, which we are trying to engage in Krishna's service. So better chanting of Hare Krishna, the most important element should be, however, done in the early morning hours, and that will give the energy, enthusiasm, all the subsequent, uh, devotional service promoting elements. So, उत्साह निश्चय धैर्य तत्त कर्म प्रवर्तनात् असंग त्यागो सतो वृत्ति षड्भिर्भक्ति प्रसिद्ध्यति. The perfection of bhakti is coming through and working under the spiritual guidance of utsaha nishchay dhairya, the enthusiasm and determination, tolerance, tatta karma pravartanat. All the activities of devotional service must be performed through these three, supervisory, element in our in our psyche. And then sangatyago, give up the association of the bad entangling entities, and satovritti, follow in disciplic succession the Purvavarti Acharyas, how they perform their life perfected, will be the example before us. So in this way, Prabhupada brought the most urgent and important, uh, uh, you know, uh, uh, subjects in Krishna consciousness of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There is no doubt about it that it will take us to the perfection, but at the same time, we become completely, you know, dependent upon the mercy of Krishna. So there is a very homogeneous union, yoga, where all different kinds of mellows in relationships with Lord Sri Krishna will be so kalau tad hari kirtanat. Shastra has says that nothing is more urgent and important to get relief from the effect of Kali Yuga is Hari Kirtan. Except Hari Kirtan, there is nothing. And Sahovacha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, iti. means, definitely. Iti Shodashakam Namanam Kalikalmashanashanam Nad Paratara Upaya Sarva Vedeshu Drashyate. So, there is nothing comparative to the holy name. It is the sole, most urgent and most important chord, quadrum in our life, and we should uh, accept it wholeheartedly. So thank you very much. Anybody has any question?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gurudev. Yes, dear devotees, if you have any questions, you may please raise your hands. So you may be unmuted. Thank you.
Very bold.
Yes, Gurudev. I guess until devotees get prepared, Gurudev, it was such a wonderful, wonderful Katha, Gurudev. Um, the, the point, the emphasis on the chanting is the spiritual urgency. And you said the urgency and need is asakti, bhava, and prema. Prema is the real need of the soul. Uh, yeah, Gurudev. I was just jotting down.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted Prithvi te ache jata sat ratnat gannagaradi gram sarvatra prachar bevo hoy be morana. So, the name of Lord Shri Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself brought is Radha Krishna nahi anya. To give us the most urgent and most important activity in our life. And that's why, because it is a cardinal fact, satyam, it has been showing its real, effect. So, phalena parichiyate. See by our examples. See by examples of other devotees. We become the most important, benevolent devotee for the welfare of the whole world. Not only human beings, but also of all the living entities. So our life should become very exemplary and try to achieve the rarest gift of, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No other people are putting this kind of emphasis except in ISKCON.
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you so much. And also, Gurudev, one more practical thing, a point that really wakes up that you have mentioned in the very beginning was the spiritual urgency means action needed right now. But we tend to look for a cozy corner, and that is because of the effect of modes of material nature. Yeah.
Even in, say, time management, these things are taught. Then four quadral arrangement is there. What is most urgent, what is most important. What is most urgent but not important. But what is not urgent but important. You select out from this. But avoid the fourth one. Not important and not urgent. This is the wasteful time that most of the people are passing. Check in our life and you will agree.
Yes, Gurudev.
So we waste our life in fourth quadrant.
Thank you, Gurudev. Kishore Kishori. Prabhu, would you want to please comment?
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah.
I have a quick question with you, Maharaj. You mentioned about urgency of chanting Hare Krishna mantra. And when we chant, how do we improve taste of chanting so that it becomes sweeter and sweeter?
Become alert of the effect of the three modes of material nature and select your choice. When do you want to chant? The first one. A recommendation is there that chant in Brahma Muhurta.
Yes, Prabhu, Guru Maharaj.
So always insist that. And before sun rises, you finish your rounds. And see
I'm trying, Guru Maharaj, yes.
how your entire day will go in enthusiastic performance of other devotional service. Check it up for yourself.
Okay. Yeah, Guru Maharaj, you have mentioned that to me during my initiation time. And then, yes, I'm keeping that in my mind. And I try to do as much as during Brahma Muhurta, Guru Maharaj. But I'm still needs your blessing so that I get more and more tasteful of chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Yeah. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Like I was want to talk.
My son also have question with Guru Maharaj.
Yes.
Okay. Today, like when I chant, like during the mode of passion, sometimes I end up getting a weird taste in my tongue as I chant.
You don't
I chant. No, I get a weird feeling in my tongue as I chant, like a weird good taste that like something is rubbing in my tongue as I chant when I'm very focused.
In mode of passion,
chanting.
In mode of passion, you will not be able to focus because there will be a lot of other activity. When the sun rises, everybody becomes active physically because sun is the provider of energy to through the food and every medium that we are getting. Okay, so we utilize that in the mode of passion. Now, if we chant when the mode of passion is more prevalent in our body, it is forced upon us. The mode is forcing us. But to chant during that time becomes difficult, less effective than you chant early in the morning before the sunrise. That is Brahma Muhurta. You will be able to be endowed with the qualities of much more better, higher taste and realization if you chant in Brahma Muhurta. But don't chant in the evening or in the night because there is ignorance is prevailing. All right. Of course, it will not affect the holy name, but it will affect you.
Oh, okay.
So we are becoming practitioners of the best of the choice.
So Maharaj, should I understand this way? Like we should chant in Brahma Muhurta, like Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is so powerful that it can be chanted anytime 24/7, but the most benefit comes during Brahma Muhurta.
The other chantings, maybe loud chanting, the Sankirtan and the streets, etc., can be done in the activity, but your own personal chanting for awakening up your soul. The other processes of Sankirtan is to wake up somebody else's soul. And that also becomes beneficial. But the best benefit is we obtain during the Brahma Muhurta, 1.5 hours before sunrise.
Thank you. Thank you. Gurudev. Yeah, Vaikunteshwar. Balaji Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Thank you for
Right.
a very nice class, very timely. I have one question about, you mentioned about the getting rid of the anarthas to have association of other devotees.
Yes.
Isn't also a determination is needed to remove the anarthas? Because
Yeah, utsaha nishchaya. Nishchaya means determination.
yeah,
We have to be persistent.
yes. So, but determination has to be there for almost everything.
Because others are determined, I may become determined. I get support. So therefore, association helps to become determined.
Yes. I have a question now about chanting early in the morning, Brahma Muhurat, which is the nice time to go ahead and chant. But those people who are like pujaris, they are involved in so many other duties at that time. How does that affect? They have to chant
I
late.
know some pujaris are waking up by 2:30 in the
Yeah.
morning, and to compensate the chanting time in between, they will have good organized and controlled situation that will give them the benefit. But if it's a sole pujari is there and everything one has to do, he may not have choice. You follow?
Yeah. Like in a household, like we have deities and we do everything, and it starts with doing the pujari jobs, and that kind of leaves to do the chanting later on.
That's why deity worship in the household has been according to the convenience of the householder.
Uh-huh.
They don't have to do elaborate devotional service with the deity worship. There is no necessity. It is the temple standard cannot be brought in the household.
Okay.
They can do less upcharas. The temple has to perform all the 16 upcharas.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But a householder in the beginning can do 5 upcharas or 10 upcharas. But then you have to manage. The householders have the right to adjust. Okay.
Okay. Can some of these upcharas be done later on during the day?
Well,
Or it has to be in the morning?
morning has the best effect because of the mode
Right.
of the material nature.
Yeah.
But Paramahamsa is supposed to chant all the times.
Yes.
And he's chanting silently.
Right.
Because he kept Krishna in focus all the time. His life is totally dedicated,
Yes.
focused on Lord Shri Krishna, executing the order of the spiritual master, focused,
Yes.
The more he takes risk and comes out successful means he is pleasing Lord Krishna.
Right.
Makes it very convenient. Tesham satat yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam. Satat yuktanam means 24 hours a day.
All the time, yeah.
So like that.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Very well.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody else, dear devotees? Questions?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Accept my humble obeisances. I don't have any questions, Maharaj, but thank you so much for blessing all of us with beautiful Katha and bringing us that importance and urgency of Harinam in our lives. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Deepta Mataji, you may unmute, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you very much for the class, Maharaji. I wanted to, if you could please say something about chanting. Chanting like it's recommended that when we chant, we should hear the Mahamantra versus when we just say it and in our head or in our heart when we are saying it. Could you please say something about that, Maharaji?
Gurudev, would you please unmute yourself, Gurudev?
Okay.
Yes, please.
Good. So, Shravanam comes first, then Kirtanam comes. So, you must listen first. If you have to listen to your own sound vibrations, then you have to prepare your ears. If you are not going to hear, what is the use of making others hear and you don't hear? So, Shravanam comes first, then Kirtanam comes, then Smaranam comes. So, this is the practice. We are cultivating it every step. Even in Kirtan, the leader, you have to listen to him and then you follow him by repeating. So that is the process of remembrance, which is the cardinal process of all 9. That whatever we do, putting the intensified understanding and practice of listening, so we can able to remember. That is Satatam Smartavyam Vishnu Vismartavyam na jatu chet sarva vidhi nishedasyu etayoreva kinkara. Whatever we do else are vidhi nished, they all are subservient to remembering Lord Krishna. People want to or desire to understand the Leelas, but they do not know whether they have pleased Krishna or not. But they want to take the liberty, which is very risky. If they do not know Krishna Tattva, then how are they going to understand the Leela? The divinity aspect has an effect on the chanter. He becomes divine and he evaluates Lord Shri Krishna on the basis of divinity. And then there won't be any conflict of interest. So, chanting, however, should be, prioritized process, but without hearing first, chanting process has no effect on remembering Krishna. Even we have been chanting, but when we are engaged in some other activity other than the chanting, there are chances we may be distracted and we may not remember Krishna at that time. But whatever we do in spiritual life, which is favorable to Lord Shri Krishna, and Krishna will remember that. Even you do not remember. So this is a special benediction in Kali Yuga. And be simple-hearted, but follow the process which is perfect. I may not be perfect, but the process I follow is perfect. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Gurudev. Thank you. Anybody else, dear devotees?
Anything else?
After a long time, we get to see you and
Hare
hear from
Krishna.
you. Okay.
I'm up since 2 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, Gurudev, I think that is it, Gurudev. Yes.
All
No
right.
questions. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare
so much,
Krishna.
Gurudev. Yes. Thank you for your
Srila
time.
Prabhupada ki
Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And our beloved Gurudev, His Holiness Vedavyasapriya Swami Maharaj ki jai. Thank you, devotees. Ending the meeting now. Gurudev is